and welcome to the eCom Ops podcast of SyncSpider. My name is Norbert, I'm your host, and today I'm talking to Isabel Aagaard from LastSwap. Hey Isabel.
Hi.
Hi, great to have you here. Thanks for being my interview partner today. Isabel, tell us a bit about yourself.
Yes, and thank you for having me.
Sure.
I am one out of the three founders of LastSwap, which now is under the brand LastObject, because we've created an array or a series of different products now. So, but our first product, LastSwap, is a reusable Q-tip. So, and this is what we aim to create in general, is reusable objects that replace single use. So that's actually us.
That's cool. It's a great concept in this world to lower the waste, right?
Exactly.
Perfect
Exactly.
thing. Yeah. And how did you first get into e-commerce?
Well, first, we actually we're three designers, and we really wanted to create a product that made a difference, that was something else than we had done. I'm from the medical industry, and the boys have done a lot of different products for kitchens and bathrooms and normal, what you would see as like normal design. So I think our idea came because we got an idea of creating another kind of product. And this is how LastSwap kind of emerged. We then put it on Kickstarter in the beginning. And we're very surprised of the response. A lot of people felt that that was actually a product that they also needed, and they could see that they could really make a huge difference in consumption of single-use Q-tips. So when after Kickstarter, we went on Indiegogo, and after that, we could see we needed to do a web shop, and we needed to really set this up. And that's so I think it took maybe 5 months, and then we had a Shopify up and running.
That's perfect. And this perfect for the next question. What's your current e-com stack? So what are you using?
Yes, so we use Shopify,
Yeah.
and then we have Skubana. MailChimp is also really, really well integrated to our setup. And we use HubSpot for B2B, because we saw that a lot of stores, zero waste stores and bigger chains contacted us, and we needed a solution that could kind of cater to them. So we use HubSpot for that. And we also use Zapier and Google Suites. So everything is kind of merged, and we've tried different things out, and we're still changing up. Because for us, it's really about creating this really nice stack that can automate the whole process.
Absolutely. Yeah, that's even perfect if you have set up everything, and automizing is the key. So to grow, absolutely. Do you sell on any other platforms?
So we just started up with Amazon. Actually, it's taken a while. We got onto it because also Amazon is in different countries at this point, and of course the US, because the US is a market that we're really hitting well right now. But we got actually France and Europe and Asia on Shopify quite quick. But it is slowly but surely getting on. Amazon.
Can you already tell us about the percentage? What do you sell over platforms, and what do you sell on your own store?
Well, right now it's actually quite low. It's maybe under 5%, but we have an aim that it's going to be much higher than our actual sales already this year on these platforms. We've just been growing slowly toward that, and we have a really good setup with distributors. So they're about 40% of our sales, and then our own website is about 60. So they're taking maybe 5% of the 60. But I think that's going to change drastically.
Yeah. As soon as you grow on this on the marketplaces and you get some visibility, this is typically a game changer. for a product like yours. And do you have a specific person in your company that is dedicated to run those operations?
We actually have a few. We're still this 3 people. We're actually 5 people now in the in the small team. But our dream has always been not to create a huge company with 200 employees. So we're keeping it low, and then we actually are outsourcing and having different freelancers do different things. So actually we have around 6 different freelancers that are doing specific things on the platform, but then they're also really dedicated and really, really good at what they're doing because it's so specific. So we have somebody who's working on MailChimp, tagging everything, automating everything around it. We have somebody who is working on mostly only HubSpot and our SEO optimization. And so all of these things are actually different people.
Especially for a product like LastSwap, as it is even in the name to be the last swap. Do you have any cross sales here, or any products or services that you provide on addition to the product?
We are, and this is actually also our plan the next couple of years. We are creating different products that are aiming to cater to some of the same customer group, you could say, because it is eliminating single-use items. So this is our main focus. So for example, we're just finished launching Last Tissue, which is a more modern take on the handkerchief in a sense.
Okay, cool.
And then we also have a new product coming up this summer. We're still moving around in the what you can call like a bathroom department, and until now it's been earwax and buggers, but we are moving outside of that realm too. But it's still really fun. So I think that all the products that we're creating right now, we can see, of course, that many of the same customers want the same products. But until now, on our web shop at least, we've actually only done our last swap, which has 2 different versions and a lot of colors. But what usually happens is that people actually, because it's a relatively cheap gift, a lot of our customers are actually buying maybe 4 to 5 of them to give to family and friends. So
very interesting.
so we are people are coming back, but not to get a new one because it is the last one.
That's cool. And what do you currently do to ensure that your customers have an awesome experience across all your channels and the entire setup?
We have quite actually very quickly after we launched the first Kickstarter, we saw that customer service is something that we need to be so good at, because a lot of people actually reach out before you get the product and after, and there's so many things, and also starting up, where it's so good to have a really, really good voice out. So we have 2 amazing girls who are doing an amazing job at that customer support and at figuring out, and also getting back to us and saying, well, actually, we're getting a lot of questions about this, or a lot of the swaps have this error. And then we're constantly trying to improve the overall experience. That said, we're also doing a lot of things, for example, with newsletters, where we're trying to explain the story better. We're trying to involve our customers in choosing the next products, choosing the next colors. So there, because the community around zero waste is amazing, and it's so involving. So the more we can involve our customers in the design decisions, the better everything gets.
Absolutely. Design rules. So if you have a really good looking product, it's much more easier to sell than you have a good product that is maybe not the best packaging or the best design. So this is you see it also for the food industry. So if you have let's say compare a Red Bull to any other energy drink. So it's all about the branding and the packaging. Absolutely. And did you have any significant downtime or disruptions of your service in your career where the stack broken or something like this?
No, nothing specifically. I think a lot of the things there's also I would say the only like disruption is more of a startup phase. You know,
Hmm.
when you're trying to integrate a new um, a new program to your setup, there can be a lot of overlays that don't work, especially with fulfillment services.
Yes.
But it's almost mostly in the beginning phase. We haven't had something that's like in the middle of everything. If we give, you know, if we have a new product, of course that has to, but it's been quite smoothly. I can't really point at anything significantly.
Yeah. It's always if you have pressure to do something, then it's always getting very very stressful. And if you see it relaxed and you have time to innovate, then I think it's always easier. Yeah, absolutely. And we talked a bit about automation. What role does automation play in your company?
It plays a huge role with the way that we want to create and build this company. Automation is the key. We need to be able to automate as much as possible, but with still keeping this sense of close communication with our customers. So it's kind of a dance, but everything system wise and everything that nothing has to be updated constantly. We need to, everything that we do, I would rather not do it than have somebody have to sit on it. So we actually had a funnel in the beginning where we started out, where we kind of went down and we said, okay, well, we have this problem. Can we automate it or not? And if you can't automate it, okay, well, can we get a freelancer to use less than 3 hours a week on it? Then it's like, yes or no. If no, then okay, is it something that's really important that we put, you know, that we take into consideration in the team? And if it's not, then we don't do it. So we actually don't introduce a lot of different things to our company because we need to have a very high level of automation.
Yeah, okay. I understand. It's yeah, it's a good idea and a good concept to decide things. And I like the idea, to be honest, with the can a freelancer do it in 3 hours a week or not, and then proceed with the planning. That's nice. Is there anything that your dev your ops team is focused in the next 12 months?
I think we're very focused on this on smoothly creating, because everything is, you know, everything, you can't do everything overnight. And we've been in business now for about a little bit over a year. So I think that a lot of these things, by automating and creating this machine that runs our business, has been something that we have been very focused on, but we will continue to be, because this is where we can go from, for example, today we have 100 orders a day, but we need to have 1,000, and we need our systems to be able to handle that. So a lot of the things that we see that we need personal contact, or that we need to go into check, or that can break, has to be very, very smooth. So I would say that our focus is probably in warehouses and the seamless order fulfillment, so that this is something that's very steady for us, because we need to have this growing, but not the team behind.
Okay, got it. And how do you currently ship? So what is your philosophy? Do you package the goods yourself and send it yourself, or do you have the warehouses across the world?
We have three different warehouses. We're
Hmm.
very because of course the mission and the vision of our company, we're very CO2 and focused. So what we did from the start, we haven't sent anything out from our offices in at all. So we set up a warehouse deal in Asia, in Europe, and in the US. And the US is still working really well. We've changed the one in Asia, but just to a different place. And we had someone in the Netherlands, but now we're actually moving it into Denmark because we're starting up production in Denmark. So we wanted the shipment facility house, or the shipment and the production to be really close to each other, and now they're only a city away from each other. And this is also just to ensure that our carbon footprint is as low as possible for our products. And then everything else is shipped by boat, and is much better distributed in that sense.
That's interesting. And how do you give those warehouses the details of the orders? Is there any automation in process, or do they just get the emails and
And
copy paste?
now everything is automated. Yeah, definitely. Yeah, because as I said, for the last half year, we've had 100 orders a day. So everything from the get-go had to be very automated for us to be able to meet that expectation.
How do you automate this at the moment? Do you have API access to Shopify, or do you send lists, or what do you do to make these automations?
It's different from warehouse to warehouse,
Mm-hmm.
and they have different systems. So, but most of them integrate directly into Shopify.
Okay,
So
cool.
sometimes you need an app to be the middleman, but more or less everything has been quite smooth in that sense. But we've chosen warehouses that have that integration because we knew we were not going to switch our Shopify account out, and this was a very, very, very important step, that there couldn't go there errors in shipment and in handle and fees are just like awful, because they go and they put a lot of pressure on your customer service part of your company, and also they make very unhappy customers in general. So it's very important for us to have this very smooth and working. Yeah,
that's interesting. Yeah. Last question. Who has taught you most about e-commerce in your career?
Taught us most about it. I think that Google, I would say, has taught me most about everything. I am amazed in every time we start. Actually, in the beginning, we read a lot of blog posts and a lot of different really amazing, and heard a lot of podcasts with some people who had set up some very interesting business structures. And because we knew what we wanted to do with our business structure, being few people and automating most of our business, it was very, very important for us to really understand how we could kind of create this. So I have more or less, I've never, my brother, who's also a co-founder, he's gone to business school. I don't think that he's used anything from that. More or less everything that we know about e-commerce has been Googling every single step of how do you get this to work, and then changing up, trying something out yourself, and then being able to say, you know what, that was actually a bad decision. We're not going to go further with this shipment house, and like taking the headache of 2 months of trying to shift it over to another warehouse. And I think that that's very important, that you test things out, but also that you just really, really research a lot of, there's a lot of information.
Try and error.
Yes.
Yeah, absolutely. That's cool. Thanks so much, Isabel, for being with me today. It was really great to learn again how you build a company and you grow within a year to so many orders. So it's really a nice steps that you've taken. Thank you very much.
Thank you, and thank you for having me.
Good luck with Last Swap and LastObject and all the products that you bring. It's really cool to have products that are for a long time and not wasting so much. Thank you.
Exactly. Thank you so much for having me.